Well, I'm happy to welcome all of you to Program Evaluation, EDCI 636. This is the last time this will be taught as EDCI. We've just voted a change to make it EDRM to acknowledge the fact that it is one of the research methods courses offered in the School of Education. Having called it a research methods course, you're going to find that there is debate within the field of evaluation as to whether evaluation is research or whether it's something different. And you'll have to weigh in on that subject this week as you're reading and writing. First, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Professor Larry Burton. I've been in the School of Education now for 17 years, or should I say this is my 17th year. I started here in 1995. I've worked in different positions. I started off in the teacher education program and as director of the MAT program shortly after that. Then I became chair. During a reorganization, I became chair of the Department of Teaching and Learning, which included the MAT program and the teacher education program. I was chair for 4 years of that department, head of teacher education for a total of 5 years. Then we did another shake-up in the School of Education and a reorganization, and the graduate programs in curriculum and instruction joined what was the Department of Teaching and Learning, and that department became the Department of Teaching, Learning, and Curriculum, which is where I'm currently housed. I work for the past 9 years, I've worked exclusively with graduate students, not because I don't like undergraduates, but just because my load is kept pretty full with advising doctoral students, working with them on their dissertations and teaching 2 or 3 graduate classes a year. I'm also the editor of the Journal of Research on Christian Education, which is published 3 times a year, which keeps me pretty busy as well, and that's what takes up the other part of my load. Let's see, what else should I tell you about myself personally? I have my bachelor's degree from Andrews, where I majored in science and minored in English while doing elementary education. My family and I, well, at least my children and I, like to speak French. They are much more fluent than I am in French, but I do try and keep on trying. My son is just about to begin his first real job working as a customer service representative for Whirlpool Corporation in the French language. So he will be one of the call center persons who will be receiving customer service support requests from Whirlpool customers in French-speaking Canada and the northeastern United States. I've spent my entire professional career within the field of Adventist education. I taught 13 years in elementary and junior academies, and as I mentioned, I'm now in my 17th year at Andrews. And one of the fun things about working in the context that I have has been my ability, my opportunities to participate in a fairly wide variety of types of evaluation, both formative, summative, informal, formal, those associated with grants that have been awarded by different organizations, as well as accreditation types evaluation. I think you're going to see in the course that evaluation is a very broad field. It is not just limited to the field of education. There are many evaluators working in healthcare, in business, in community development, in working with non-government organizations. It is a very broadly defined field, very broadly implemented field. What's important in evaluation is that you develop a set of tools that enable you to work within the context for where you are asked to work, whether that's because you're choosing to work in evaluation in an area or because you're actually being contracted and paid to do some evaluation for someone. Let's talk a little bit about what you need to do to be successful in this course. Most of you have probably already had online or hybrid courses before. However, if this is your first online learning experience or your first experience in a hybrid course, then there are some things that you need to know about, or maybe even some things you need to be reminded about if you have taken such a course before. An online course is one which is completed completely online. You never have to meet with the professor or other students face to face. You never have to visit the campus where the course is taught. You can do everything on the internet. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't necessarily have to meet with your classmates at the same time. So we have two kinds of activities that will happen in this course. We have synchronous activities and asynchronous activities. Almost everything that you do in the course will be asynchronous. That means that you can do it anytime, any place, wherever you want to, as long as you get the task done by the assigned deadline. However, we also will have weekly synchronous discussions, and those you will need to be at a certain place at a certain time. Where you will need to be depends on whether or not you're doing this course online or whether you're doing it in a hybrid manner. Hybrid means that part of the work you do online on the computer, and part of the time you meet face-to-face with the professor and some of your other classmates. So, as noted on the course website, there are a certain number of synchronous discussion times that are scheduled every week. You can attend one of those or all of those. It's just up to you. You can attend those face-to-face if you're in the local Berrien Springs area. You can attend those online via Adobe Connect Pro, and there's a link on the course calendar to get to the Adobe Connect Pro site for our discussions. Attendance at those sessions is required. You will receive a grade for attending and for participating. Your level of participation during those sessions will also contribute to your grade. So I want everyone who is there to be actively engaged. Don't think I mean engaged as in dominating the conversation. I want everyone to be equally engaged in the discussion that we have. I don't want people to be just sitting, listening, and not contributing to the discussion. Each of these synchronous discussion activities will be focused partly on what happened in the previous week of the course and partly on what's happening in the current week of the course. And so we'll be having a variety of discussion topics and activities that are focused on helping you better understand what it is that we're currently studying during the week of the discussion, as well as what we had read about and worked to understand better the previous week. Now, perhaps the most important thing you can do to succeed in this course is to schedule study time and to protect it as if it is holy time. You will find that online courses and hybrid courses tend to take more time than face-to-face courses. You cannot rely on listening to a professor's lecture and getting everything that you need to know. You will have to be keeping up with your reading every week. There will be at least 50 pages of reading a week out of the textbook in general. There are also articles that will be given to you to read, about 5 or 6 of those, and you will need to keep up with those. You will be reporting on those and writing reading reports, reading reflections on those, but also I will be able to tell from your discussions in the synchronous times and from your postings in the asynchronous discussion online where you're answering questions that I post. I'll be able to tell by the way that you respond if you've been actually reading what's been assigned or not. The content will show through in your responses. It's also very important that before you start the class that you read the course syllabus. The course syllabus is located on the course website, and the syllabus maps out our contract between each other as teacher and learner. Although in this class, hopefully I can learn from each of you as well. But it is important that you look at the syllabus, that you understand what's expected of you, and that if there's anything you don't understand, that you be sure and ask for clarifications. You also need to explore the course website. There will be a portion of this video which looks at the website, but it's critical that you look at the website, that you go there every week, probably 2 or 3 times a week, to see what's been posted, to make sure that you follow every link that I put there, to see if it's useful for you or if it's an assignment for you or something like that. Now, I do have a typical weekly cycle that I've set up for this course, and that is, and it's designed to accommodate what I call the typical American work week. So the typical American work week is Monday through Friday, and most people don't get a lot done on their online courses during that time, although the more you can do to distribute your learning across the week, the better your learning quality will be. I understand that many people will need to be doing large amounts of work over the weekend, and so the assignments are due at 9 a.m. on Monday mornings. Don't think that means you've got a lot of time on Monday to get assignments done. That means after 9 a.m. on Monday morning, the assignments that were due are considered late, and you'll lose points for those. What would probably help you is if you think of your due date as Sunday night at midnight. Just think, before I go to bed Sunday night, I need to have all of my assignments in, even though technically you have until 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Now, some people find that working from a computer screen is not really user-friendly for them if they haven't done it much, if they haven't read from screens. So feel free to print any of the materials that I've posted on the course website. You can print them in various formats. You can print the web pages. If it's a Word document or a PDF document, you can open that and print it, print the actual document. These documents are also nice for use for study for comprehensive exams. So any of those things that you think you're going to want to use in the future, be sure and download them and save them, or download them and print them now, because this course will not be open forever. It will close after this semester, and you won't have access to these materials after that time. Let's talk a little bit about the course purpose, and how I'm going to hopefully help you achieve the purposes of the course and the learning outcomes of the course. The purpose of the course is to provide you with the tools and basic learnings and understandings that you need to work in program evaluation, to conduct a program evaluation. We will not be, and as a result, the major task for the course that you'll be completing is a program evaluation proposal. We will not actually conduct the evaluation in this course. However, if you want to get advanced experience in program evaluation, then you can follow up this course by taking EDCI 885, Applied Research in Evaluation, and you can actually implement the proposal that you develop for this course. I've designed the course around 4 different units, and that's also the way conceptually I've designed it, around 4 different units, and that's the way I've organized the website as well. So we're going to begin talking about the evaluation field in general and looking and seeing what this field is about, and that will take us 2 weeks. After that, we're going to look at evaluation approaches, Unit 2. Unit 3 is going to be focused on planning evaluations, and then the final unit on actually conducting an evaluation. And while we're not going to be planning and conducting an evaluation in this course, you will be working with me on a current research project I have that uses evaluation techniques and has evaluation components to it, and you'll be helping look at some of the data coming from that research so that you get practical experience in analysis of evaluation data and presentation of evaluation findings. The layout of the course website is something that I try to keep consistent across my courses. So if you've had a course with me before, you may have seen something like this. In the top section, in the quotes newsy section, that's where I'll put headlines, things that are currently happening, so you can see that the videos aren't yet posted on the website as I'm making this video, obviously, and so I've got that announcement there. In this newsy area at the top, we have a news forum. That's where I will post any important events for the course. We have a chapel forum. This is where you can post actual prayers, prayer requests, praises to God. We have a water cooler forum. That's where you can blow off steam, talk about anything that's on your mind. This is where you can clear your mind or just chit-chat with people. And then underneath the water cooler, you'll see that there is a late assignments folder. So in the case where you finish an assignment but you don't get it posted before 9 a.m. on Monday, this is the location that you would post that. Anything that's late goes here. It doesn't matter what it is. You can just post it there. Underneath late assignments, you'll see a little link that says attendance at synchronous discussions. You can check this each week after you've attended to make sure that I'm keeping track of your attendance. And also there's a quality indicator as to the level of engagement that you had during the discussion. So that will be indicated there, and you'll be able to see, and that will translate directly into your grade for attendance at these synchronous discussions that we do week by week. If you arrive late for the synchronous discussions, you will lose points, and that's regardless of whether you join online or whether you join face-to-face. I will have the online synchronous discussion area open approximately half an hour before it actually begins, so you should have no problem in getting in there before we start. You've already been working with this Getting Started forum. It's where I've posted the syllabus. I've posted the course calendar there. There will be times when I will find errors in the syllabus, and I will post an updated version of the syllabus, and the changes, the corrections will be made using the Track Changes tool in Word. So you'll be able to quickly go and find the newly colored portion. If you're not familiar with using the Track Changes tool, I suggest that you look at that. It's under the Review tab in Word, and there's a little button that just says Next, and you can go to the next change, and you can immediately find what edits I've made to the syllabus, what corrections. Let's look now at this first unit of study, the evaluation field, and this will give you an idea of how the course will look and will continue to unfold. I will post resources, often in PDF format, so you see course overview, read this first. If there's something that's important, I will put some note like that that says, look at this first. There will be a discussion forum, and the forum will stay the same for the entire unit, whether that's 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 6. You'll notice underneath the Unit 1 forum, I've indented and placed the weekly online discussion rubric. So if I have a set of resources that belong together, I will have them indented under the first. For example, the next item is the reading report template. So this is the document you actually download to complete your reading report for January 23 to 29. Underneath that is the assignment Dropbox. So this is where you actually turn in the assignment. Now, if you're afraid you're going to lose where these assignments are, because I've got this assignment for the reading report, and then a few lines down I have the Almost Weekly Essay Dropbox. If you're worried that you're going to not know what assignments to turn in, you can just scroll back up towards the top and off to the left here is a link for assignments, and if you click on that, it takes you to all of the assignments, and it tells you when they're due. So you can see I've got the late assignment folder. There's no due date there because you can upload those at any time. The first reading report is due by 9:05. You notice I give you 5 minutes leeway there. 9:05 a.m. on Monday morning. The Almost Weekly Essay, again due, this time I've got it at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. So you can get an entire list of assignments just by clicking on that assignment link from the course homepage. Same with forums if you're not sure what we need to be discussing. Same for resources. Same for attendance. Now, one new thing that I'm trying with this class this time is what I'm calling the Almost Weekly Essay. You will have one of these, as the name implies, almost every week. Not every week, but almost every week. There will be a writing prompt, and then you're going to respond using a 5-paragraph essay. If you're not sure what a 5-paragraph essay is, I've posted some resources there, and there will be a short little video as well about how to do that. So you can see here's the Almost Weekly Essay description that I've posted there. For some reason the icon isn't showing. And then underneath that is the rubric that I will be using to grade the assignment. Underneath that is the drop box for the assignment. Underneath that are some additional resources that I found online that are useful maybe for you to look at on writing 5-paragraph essays. And this is the format that our units will take. As each of these assignments or handouts get past due, I will turn them off so that you don't actually see them. They'll become invisible to you after they're done, and only the current assignments will be visible.